What's up, everyone? Welcome to round 3 of the November tournament for Portland Monthly Premodern Paper Magic's Afternoons. We got a hell of a matchup, so without further ado, let's get into the decks. For those of you that saw round 2, this list may look a little familiar because this is Ryan's Terrageddon list running it back. Now, if you haven't seen that video yet, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss more videos. But this one is a pretty interesting take on the Terrageddon list, being a little more creature heavy, a little more focused on the mid-range, and splashing for a few more colors besides the usual just green and white. Main board, you'll see a splash of red for Fires of Yavimaya, and sideboard we have some Engineered Plagues and a Pernicious Deed. Now, those Engineered Plagues might actually be relevant in this matchup. I'll go into the deck list he'll be facing in a sec, so we'll see how good that fixing is, especially since his only black source is through those Mox Diamonds. Now he does have a Enlightened Tutor find them, so that does add a little more stability to it, but overall this is a really sweet list, and there's definitely going to be a little more sideboard action this time, so without further ado, let's get to his opponent. And Ryan's opponent is going to be Moze on red-green Goblins. I don't have too much to say about the list itself. It does seem pretty straightforward. Red Green Goblins, it is a very fast deck. It is a very strong deck. Those Engineered Plagues, maybe we'll see if they make a difference. But this deck is looking to get down pressure quick, and potentially even before a Terravor or an Armageddon has a chance to do anything real, the game is probably going to be over. Sideboard wise, maybe the Tormod's Crypts come in if Terravors really start to be an issue. Maybe some of the Pyrokinesis to take care of some of the bigger creatures that the little goblins may not be able to handle. But all in all, this is going to be a really quick round, potentially. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Also, A+ on the deck, photo Moze. I always appreciate a good photo, and these are some beautiful cards. Let's get into the game. And here we go, Terrageddon versus Goblins. Ryan again on the left, Moze on the right. Now, usually I'd say the Terravor list has a bit of a rougher time against aggro lists, but since Ryan has added all these smaller drop creatures, the Nimble Mongooses, the Moms, the Weathered Wayfarers, I feel like he can keep pressure off, at least for a little while, in order to drop his bigger bombs like Terravor, or potentially even a Thresholded Werebear. But it's really going to come down to how quick the Goblins list is right off the bat. And let's see, I can see at the very least a Mox and some lands. Call the Herd in Ryan's hand, and a Sword of the Plowshare. That's pretty big, being able to hit those key goblin pieces. Moze keeping it a little close to his chest. That's fine. We'll just have to guess what he's on. But it looks like they're both keeping, or at least thinking really hard about it. Must be potentially a edge case hand. Is it worth it? Are you going to get a better 6? That is the question. Nope. All right, Moze is going to ship it back. And I'll be honest, I actually don't know which one of these guys is on the play. So it'll be a surprise to all of us. But I imagine even if Goblins is on the play, if you don't have an aggressive turn 1 start, you probably always just ship it back. Even on the draw, I think you always want to be playing something turn 1 and have that good aggro curve. I see that the players brought dice as well. I don't think. Oh, I see. That's Moze's dice. So he'll be keeping track with dice. Ryan will be using the app. I mentioned this, I think, in video 1, but I'll be getting some large dice to have on the field for life totals, so we don't have to worry about screen glare and all that stuff. Players will be able to track life separately from that as well, but for our benefit, that'll be much easier. And let's see, Mose is all shuffled up. We'll see if he can keep a better 6. I think I see a couple of siege gangs. I saw at least one mountain. And that'll be keepable. All right, Ryan is on the play and a strong start, leading off with a Sylvan Library. Okay. Interesting. I don't know if he's gonna... Ooh, and Mose does not have a 1-drop. Very interesting. Okay. Ryan just deciding to take the 1. Seeing that red land definitely probably putting him off of any sort of aggressive life cost to draw more cards. But a straight Call the Herd. It's a casual turn 2 3/3, not nothing to worry about. Alright, Mo's playing out the Karplusan Forest, has full colors online, and yeah, just gonna naturalize the library right away. Probably a good call, and has the sweet PM stamp card, which was the promo for this weekend's event. Bose is one of the organizers that helps set this thing up as well, so huge shout out to him for making this tournament reality. We had 14 players at this last one, which, while not the largest amount we ever had, is still pretty fantastic. We were able to get a solid 4 rounds before cutting the top 4. Alright, looks like we've got a Wood Foothills Fetch, and potentially dropping down one of those siege gangs, I imagine, or the Goblin War Chief. Oh, which immediately gets swords, which is fair. That is definitely one of the bigger threats that you really have to kill on site before the deck gets going. Alright, both players shuffling. And Mo's just going to pass the turn. Is that another swords? Ryan, you're flicking your cards too fast. I can't read it. Alright, just getting aggressive, swinging in for 3, and then flashing back, getting another 3/3. And Ryan having pretty much... Yeah, okay, getting rid of the green source is good with the Wasteland. But Ryan definitely with the board state to beat. Definitely stabilized. Ancient Tomb coming down from Mose. So still able to make those big drops if he needs it. But really should be looking to build up the board with a few, well, blockers. And then potentially growing them into threats. But Mo's in a bit of a sticky situation here. Looking down 6 damage a turn at only 14 life. And with that, Crypt being his 3rd mana source, potentially taking damage off of that as well just to get down a 3-drop. Okay, we got a Goblin Matron coming in. And what is Mo's gonna look for? What's going to be the answer to get him out of this predicament? Is it a pile driver? Seems too aggressive for this board state, but maybe. Taking a look at his hand, seeing what he needs to build back. Giving it a good think. And I think, yep, just a Goblin Lackey. Okay. Short and sweet. Potentially a bluff to keep Ryan from swinging in with both. Or potentially he has something good in hand he wants to get down. That is always the danger of a lackey. And if it was a bluff, it did seem to work. Ooh, and Armageddon coming in. Alright, and Ryan, fresh out of lands, fresh out of cards in hand, I should say. Getting down Windswept Heath. And this is looking pretty unwinnable for Moze at this point, I hate to say. Oh, playing out the library again. Okay. Getting that card advantage. I mean, feeling good at 18 life. Opponent has no lands. Just 2 creatures that he's potentially going to need to block. Both. Ooh, and a swords. Taking 4. Alright, kept the swords. I didn't see what the other one was, but... Okay. Down to 3. Leaving the swords up is smart. I'd potentially maybe just hit it there. Okay, not cycling the thicket. Yep, just swords in them. Gains 1. But that is not going to be enough. And Ryan takes it down. Behind that smile. Round 2. Oop, and Mo's immediately shipping it back. Does not like it. It's going to pile shuffle, hopefully get a better 6. And Ryan thinking about it a little bit more. I can't quite tell what's in his hand.
This is a hard choice. This is like,
but it's got to be edge case, borderline, if he's giving it this much of a think. I mean, maybe he said he kept it already, but looks like he's struggling to to decide. Oh, I see a Weather Wayfarer, a mom in there potentially. Nope, just gonna ship it back. All right, both players going to 6. Man, I really hope this goes all the way to game 3 though. Having this be the 3rd round, both the first and the 2nd round were clean 2-0 sweeps, and I don't know about you guys, but I would love to see a little bit more magic, especially between these 2 decks. I feel like a solid mid-range versus probably the best aggro deck in the format. Sorry, Sly. It's gonna be really interesting to watch. Okay, so both players on a multi-1 right now. Ooh, and Ryan has, I think that's the Pernicious Deed. He did bring it in from the sideboard. And I think I caught maybe a Tormod's Crypt from Moze as well. Alright. Ryan potentially shipping the Armageddon back. Nope, gonna pick something else. Thinking about it. Okay. Decided to keep the seal. At least 2 lands in play, or 2 lands in hand. No way to play out the Pernicious Deed yet. Really, you need the Mox to be able to do that. Oh, but you do have a Weathered Wayfarer. Again, no swamps in the main list. Or in the sideboard. Alright, not exactly the dream turn 1 start, but it is a 1-1 for 1, and Moze is off to the race. Ooh, drawing a swords off the top. Pretty good. Oh, just gonna go ahead and swords it. Yeah. I get that, but yeah. Alright, Karplusan Forest is the turn, and pass. Surprisingly, okay. Is that Nimble Mongoose I see in hand? Nope, we're just gonna go with Weathered Wayfarer first. And do we lead? I don't think there's a green source actually. Yeah, so he's got a Secluded Step that he could have played. But I think Ryan's hoping that Mose doesn't have any more lands and can get the forest, the green source that he's really needing, I think, at this point with the Nimble Mongoose and the Pernicious Deed, if he even finds the the Mox. All right, just a straight cycle, Gem Palm, no goblins on the field, so no damage done. He's gonna go ahead and activate the Weathered Wayfarer. Probably go get that forest. Yep. I didn't see what Ryan drew, but I imagine he's just gonna play out the Mongoose. Yes, okay. So filling up the board with small creatures, specifically to prevent that Goblin Lackey from getting in and really starting to cause problems. Let's see what he's got now. So I think he still has a Secluded Step. And ooh, is that the Engineered Plague too? So this is exactly what I was talking about in the sideboard at the beginning. Not having access to that black source, at least in the form of a 1-of Swamp for Weathered Wayfarer to fetch, might be costing this round, or this game at least. It is a very smart splash, but I think especially if you're going to include ways to fetch for lands that aren't fetch lands, it might be worth including. Just a 1-of, even if it's just a swamp in the side. If you're splashing and bringing in all 3 black cards, then might potentially be worth it. Now Mo's here. Thinking through his options. I don't have a good view on his hand. All right, he's just gonna swing in and force. Oh, nope. What's he doing? All right, just gonna trade.
Just not getting extra.
And just play out another one. All right, gonna cycle the Thicket. Gets another Swords. And yeah, I would just straight up. Well, okay, gonna cycle the Step. Gets a way to find the black mana. That is huge. Being able to hit that Mox is very nice. That opens up Engineered Plague next turn. But we're just gonna Swords now. Get in for one, and yep, just and I don't actually. He doesn't have a 3rd land in hand. Interesting. Okay, cycling 2 lands. I think I might have seen a Terravor in there.
Yeah, which one? This one. Yeah, I agree.
And Mo's tapping down and passing the turn, tapping down. There we go. Weathered Wayfarer comes out. Still no land in hand. But next turn, assuming the Wayfarer sticks around, Ryan can go and get whatever land, doesn't really matter. And also go and get that Mox. And at the very least, have Pernicious Deeds up, but he's probably going to be trying to go for the Engineered Explosive as soon as he can. And playing against Goblins is always tricky because they do splash green primarily for that Naturalize. It definitely makes their mana base a little weaker, but I mean, Engineered Explosive, or not Engineered, Engineered Plague is such a backbreaking card. Ooh, and a huge hit, getting 2 Skirk Prospectors and a Siege Gang Commander. And we're just going in for 2. All right, this is a bit of a problem for Ryan. Took a little too long, maybe pitched one more land than he should have. And there is big things happening soon. Ooh, and a Pyrokinesis to prevent that mana search. Though, yeah, Ryan might be in a bit of a pickle. Especially, I think that's another board wipe. Yeah, that's the even more expensive Armageddon, which I'm totally blanking on right now. I think this might be a problem. Now, granted, he has Ryan has 6 cards in the graveyard, so 1 more, and his little Nimble Mongoose is a little more threatening. Is not going to definitely hold the line all by himself. Ooh. Well, had to say something. All right, Tormod's Crypt is going to prevent any sort of threshold shenanigans coming in. Definitely a good sideboard include for the Goblins player. And here we got the Siege Gang Commander. Bringing in a whole little army of goblins. And I like the goblin tokens. I think those are the Mountain Walk goblins from the dark. Oh, we got 1 more swords hitting that Siege Gang. So Threshold is online right now, but it's not going to do much with that crypt up. All right, we finally got the 3rd land for Ryan. I can't imagine he's going to cycle it. I think he just has to play it at this point. No, holds it up. Okay. With that army of 1/1s, I think you almost have to play out the land. Go get your Mox. Hope you draw 1 more land so you can hit that Engineered Explosives and at least downsize the board a little bit. All right, we got a big attack coming in, kind of baiting the block with that Tormod's Crypt. Yes, the Mongoose is a 3/3, but only as long as Mose wants it to be. Ryan thinking about this. And just gonna take the 5. Alright, a Skirk Prospector coming in. And pass. Alright, here we go. We're gonna line tutor. I imagine we're grabbing the Mox here. Still gonna try and stabilize things. Yep. Okay, and the dream is to draw an untapped land here. I think that's the best way he has to stabilize. Mose only has 1 hidden card in hand right now. Ooh, and tapping down the land is not what you want to see. Alright, playing out the Mox, pitching the land. Did he draw for turn? I don't know if he did. Alright, playing out a seal. Just gonna threaten that crypt, I guess. I mean, you can just crack in a response. I don't know what the seal is going to really threaten in Moses' deck. Potentially it's just a way to get another permanent in the graveyard. And yeah, here we go. He's gonna chump block. Mose sacks the Tormod's Crypt in response. Mongoose goes to the graveyard. And oof, and the Naturalize coming down. That might just be game at this point. I don't think there's too much Ryan can do, especially with that Rashad Port tapping down mana. Mana was definitely the problem in this game, and yep, that is gonna do it. Mose takes down game 2, and we're gonna finally see a round 3. All right, we have a game 3 here finally. Very happy about it. These games have been pretty one-sided both times, so let's see if we can get a true grindy game. All right, so Ryan's got the Mox to get his black source. He's got a couple of lands. I think that might be an Engineer Plague in the very back there. It looks like a black card at least. A little hard to tell. Mose being as stoic as usual, keeping his cards straight up so I can't see. Which is fine. We got some tall players, you don't want them peeking over, right? All right, so Ryan leading off with the Mox and the Forest, and just gonna go with the Sylvan Library again. It worked for game 1. It's gotta work again, right? All right, and we got Lackey. Well, there's a Swords and a Circle of Protection red. Both of those are pretty good. Often though for the land and the swords. It looks like he's got a plains in hand as well, so definitely gonna hit that white mana and a wasteland. That's tempting. I almost think you play out the wasteland. Yeah. Yep. And passes the turn. All right. Just gonna play a little gotcha. Swords the Goblin. No big drops for you. Oh, and nope, you don't get the 21. You took a point of damage off of your own land. All right, Circle of Protection still on top. I would be very tempted to bring that in, even knowing the Goblins deck runs Naturalizes, because you have 2 other really good targets for Naturalize as well. And Mose did not play out a second land. So I would almost be tempted to take 2 here. Unless you have a way for fetch lands. Nope, just drawing in the circle. Totally fair. Alright, plays out the Treetop Village. And plays out the circle. Alright. No creatures in hand. Ooh, and a pass from Mose. No lands again. We're seeing the real severity of mana screw in this game. Hopefully he can get some sort of thing going. It has to discard to hand size, unfortunately. Still not sure exactly what he has in hand, but there's potentially options with Pyrokinesis to at least keep things a little manageable while he builds up his board again. But yeah, that turn 1 2 Wasteland from Ryan really doing a number. Alright, gonna cycle the Secluded Step, drew a land, and gets the Terravore. Okay, this is looking very rough now. I think that's 4 lands in the graveyard total, so Terravore is a 4/4. Now, a Tormod's Crypt here would be really good. And of course, Moses got it, smart playing it out. Ooh, another Terravore, is that another Secluded Step? No, Terravore, Swords of Plowshares. Looks like putting Terravore on top. Alright, and just gonna force it.
How many cards? 4. 1, 2. Or how many cards in hand?
Yeah, interesting to not animate the land as well, to at least guarantee you get some damage in. I mean, I guess Terravore will be hitting for 1 no matter what because of Moses' Carplucent Forest. So do you want to hit for... You hit for 4? Okay, he does. Interesting. I mean, to be fair, Ryan's deck is all about getting... Hey, Mose hit the land. All right. Ryan's deck is all about getting lands in the graveyard, whether it's his own or his opponent's. And he's getting dangerously close to that Armageddon point where Terravore just runs away with it. So I can see why Mose would want to hold up the crypt. And that is a very nice looking Fanatic there. And this makes sense. Mo's being able to hold up the Crypt, get out the Fanatic, and potentially trade with the Terravore. Ooh, and drawing, was that drawing 2 or just 1 extra off of the sword, or off of the Sylvan Library. All right, gonna animate out. Yep. All right. I think the smart move here is, is to get a double whammy. Doesn't need to lose the Mog Fanatic at all. Is able to take care of both creatures. And that might have actually been a bit of a would that been a bit of play? I mean, I'm trying to think what that is. That's brushland, right? So you left the white open. You could have activated the Circle of Protection. Well, I think there's at least one more Terravore in hand, so not the biggest loss. And at the very least, you have now a 2-power Terravore.
Cards before getting another land, something like that. Yeah.
A little manland out as well, or a token generator. And yeah, okay, so we got the swords still. Trying to decide if there's a good target for it yet, or if you should hold off. I might hold off on the swords. Nope. All right, just gonna hit the Skirk. I mean, I can see that. It prevents mana generation for sure, which is something Mo's really seems to need right now. Still has a grip full of cards, and then the Terravore comes down, and I think it's just a 2/2 currently. But not making the mistake this time, leaving white open for the Circle of Protection, which is important. Got to keep that Terravore around. You only got 4 of them in the deck, and one of them's already dead. Ooh, all right, we got a Pernicious Deed, which we can actually play and use now. Got, I think that's a secluded step, and has the tutor in case he needs to get another Mox Diamond. Now, the board's looking pretty good for Ryan at this point. Mo's still stuck on that single land. Potentially could have another Pyrokinesis, which could be an issue. We did see, I think he had at least 3 in the side, potentially 4. Alright, I'm just going to go for it and swing for 2. And Mo's just takes 2. Hey, we got the second land. Is it enough? I think with the Skirk Prospector, it would have definitely helped. But I wonder if he's holding up a Naturalize in hand. Well, do you...
1 damage on it, yeah.
Oh, is he not going to take the... Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, he's going to ping him for 1. But why not use the Circle of Protection again with the Brushland? There's a Brushland, right?
End of turn.
And he also had a Mox Diamond. Oh, here we go. Here's the Engineer Plague. If you can't have, or if I can't have creatures, you can't either, is I think Ryan's line here. And that seems very reasonable. Ooh, another 2 lands in addition to the Engineer Plague. That's a bit rough. Alright, just gonna, yep, cycle for the Engineered. Play it out. And see what Mo's can do. Alright, finds the 3rd land. And swings in, and nope, no damage. Got the circle.
Well, that was just insane.
Was that another just straight lands? Oh my. Alright, cycling for another one. Oh, plays out another Engineered Plague. Alright, now we're cooking. I think Ryan's just got the Pernicious Deed in hand. So even if something manages to get through. Rashad and Port coming down. Alright, Mo's finding all the lands. There's the Naturalize. Gets the Pile Driver. Hey, there's a Mongoose, so at least a threat. Something to help answer the growing board on Moses' side. Alright, takes one for the white to cycle it. And here we go, Nimble Mongoose time. I definitely think he's got at least 7 cards. So hopefully Moses hasn't been sandbagging Tormod's Crypt this whole time. Looks like... Got the Siege Gang? No, he's got... Okay. Ooh, Pyrokinesis going to the bottom. You don't want to see that. But a Goblin Matron and a Fanatic. At least can have some action for next turn. And we'll just pass. Alright, another Sylvan Library. And a Windswept Heath to shake it up a little bit. That is definitely one of the best things you can see with the Sylvan Library if you're not liking what you're constantly drawing. And Ryan just swinging in for 3. Unblocked. Little bit dangerous, especially with Mo's having a full grip, including extra goblins, and enough lands to actually do something about it. Ryan is able to make a blocker. That is true with the land. At least I think that's the right land. I might be totally misremembering what that land does, but not totally open on board. And having the Engineer Plague definitely helps, and the Circle of Protection being able to knock down some damage. Alright, gonna play out the Goblin Matron. It dies, but he gets the trigger. And probably just finding a Goblin Lord so his guys can swing in for a little more. Be my guess. Or is he just gonna try and dig even more? Alright, yep. Just getting the War Chief. Make sure his guys can stick around. Or is that what he wants? He's thinking about it. Nope. That's what he'll get. Ooh, and a few more lands in hand too. And another Pile Driver. I could see the... Well, Siege Gang Commander, I guess, wouldn't do too much. Alright, gonna fetch at the beginning. Ryan not wanting to see any more lands on top. And yeah, the Terravor deck plays a lot of lands, but a lot of them are cycling. Plays the 4 fetches that he can in his colors. And there you go. Almost complete gas. Seal Cleansing still in the deck, but at least gets a threat. Swings in for 3. Bo's not wanting to trade yet. Plays out the second Mongoose. Alright, now the creatures start coming down. We get our little Goblin Lord. Everything's gonna get really big. Those pile drivers swinging in are gonna be a problem. For sure. Oh, and Mo's just passed a turn and a Pernicious Deed. Is that what you want right now, though? I think he just put the Wayfinder on top. Swinging for 6. And Mo's just taking the 6. All right. Wayfinder coming out. And a pass. Oop. Yep, that's smart. Mo's saving, tapping down at least one white source. Only 2 left, but is there enough that Mo's can do to push damage through? Nope, he's just gonna pass. And then Mo's gesturing to something, tapping down the plains. Yeah.
That's gonna be good. Or hold on. Actually, I should just. No, there's not. Alright, that's good already. Library.
Alright. Activate library. Oh, and the only new card is a land. And here we go. Threatening lethal blocks are gonna have to happen at some point. Just gonna jump block. Quick and easy. Not playing the Pernicious Deed, which is interesting. I mean, there's no real reason to. I guess you want to hold up the white mana for circle just in case an Alpha Strike's coming down. But I think at this point, Ryan's pretty much got it in the bag. I didn't really see what else Mo's has in hand, but I think it's just the Fanatic and 2 cards we don't know about. Looks like 1 is a Naturalize. Oh, 3 cards. Okay, so he's got a Naturalize. But do you spend the Naturalize on the circle? I almost think you have to. The Engineered Plague is definitely causing issues as well, but the Circle of Protection is a pretty big stopgap in what the Goblins are trying to do, which is ping damage. Except for, of course, when you get in really big with a couple of pile drivers. But one of those pile drivers is no longer on the battlefield, so the chances of those swinging in for lethal this turn is not great. But he's definitely thinking the Naturalize through and what he wants to hit. I think you have to hit the circle, and then just hope you get another one for the Engineered Plague. No, going for the Plague. Interesting. Okay. Plays out the Mog Fanatic. Now they can plays out the second Mog Fanatic. Okay, this makes a little more sense. Being able to at least hold up some blockers. And thinking through potentially an attack here. Does just have the Weather Wayfarer. Don't know why the green mana was tapped, but he had a Mox, so it's fine. He could have tapped for white and not cause any damage to himself. Ryan just taking the 1 card now and swinging in. All right, so blocks with the Fanatics. Gonna attempt to ping the Wayfinder and not using the Circle of Protection at all. Interesting. Has potentially better things to do with the mana, one of which is a Terravore, but still has a lot of white mana open. Oh, and that'll do it. All right, Ryan taking it down. staying king of the hill for now. He'll be coming back for round 4. Mo's great job, almost got there. That little bit of a mana issue in the beginning of this third game really proved to be, I think, the turning point. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe so you guys can catch the next few rounds. Again, there's 3 more after this, including the finals, and I'll catch you next time.